Macho Nacho Movie Night. The Macho Nachos is your doing.
So I made some nachos, and I was like, hey, I made these awesome nachos, and next time I come over, we should make nachos, and we can have a nacho movie night.
Right. And this isn't just like chips in a bowl with cheese on it. This is like a tray put in the oven nachos.
Meat, cheese, sauce, the whole works.
Bacon.
It's basically a meal, and they're special. We'll show the nachos later.
Will. But, so that's the Macho Nachos part. The Macho Nacho Movie Night happened because of a conversation, and I don't remember what the conversation was, but
basically
it was good at the
Nacho
time.
Movie Night, and you're like,
Right.
why don't we have Macho Nacho Movie Night?
Right. Thereby watching macho movies at the time that we're having the Macho Nachos.
Basically, a macho movie would be anything you could think of, like Die Hard, or something that is like manually, where explosions, guns, sunglasses, smoking, Terminator, breasts, like anything like a manly guy would watch, explosions. That's what. So,
right. And so, because I don't know about you, I personally have no clue what's manly, we decided to come up with a spreadsheet to help us decide what movies to watch.
I was like, how do we pick a manly movie? Do we just go in the store and look at a cover and be like, well, this one's got explosions and guns?
Right, because maybe it's like explosions and guns are manly, whereas I'm like unicorns are manly.
And we don't want to pick something that we know of, like the movies I named before. We want to just go and look at.
Very important. So we have the spreadsheet made up. This is probably the point where we're going to insert a picture of the spreadsheet
exactly.
to show you exactly what's going on. Yes. You'll see a bunch of columns with categories. We will rank each column 1 through 5. Every category,
come up with an awesome
every movie has to come
2.
up with points for all those categories, whether or not they even have something to do with it. And there's bonus categories that we can write in, so it's going to be
This will be super exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll find out.
So let's kick it off.
So we finished our nachos.
We've not finished the nachos. We're working on the nachos.
We finished making the nachos.
They're completed.
Before that, we went to the movie store and filled out our grading rubric based on guns, muscles, tattoos, breasts, sunglasses, explosions, smoking, and the word Macho Man, plus bonus criteria.
Got some weird looks from the employees and some of the customers.
Diamond Dogs, Death Racers, Fighting with Anger, Into the Sun, Missionary Man, Ninja Cheerleaders, Walking Tall, and War.
Those were our movie choices.
They were the movies that we looked at based on their gratuitous covers, and we ended up picking Death Racers, and
we have Missionary Man starring Dolph Lundgren.
Missionary Man got 28 points, most of which came from 5 for sunglasses.
He's got sunglasses in every single picture of him on this, and the spine. Look at that.
Death Racers had 24 points, with a 5 for explosions.
And, let me mention, Death Racers features the Insane Clown Posse, and they are on the back holding machetes, so...
Machetes, hatchets, and blood is exploding everywhere, so... If we had a category for blood and cars, this probably would have beat out Missionary Man, but...
Right.
You live and learn.
Yep. So, our first movie pick that we'll be watching is Missionary Man, because it got the highest amount of points. And we will be checking in throughout. We'll be eating nachos. It's going to be great. And we will definitely get back with you after this movie is over and before we start Death Racers. All right, good play.
So we just finished watching Missionary Man.
Yes, we did.
Thoughts?
Here are my thoughts on Missionary Man. It was really boring.
It's very boring.
It tried very hard to have Dolph Lundgren be a badass and kill some people. However, it really didn't succeed. It was just more boring. Yeah, I don't know.
So here's the thing. He rolls into town on his motorcycle, sunglasses, gun, and Bible in tow. And he goes to a funeral for some friend that died for some reason that we have no idea why.
Right.
But he knows that the people in this town had something to do with killing his friend. So he wanted revenge. And he ended up uncovering some sort of drug thing and corrupt sheriff and some biker gang. And he ended up... It was like an hour and a half later, he killed them all and drove off on his motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. He didn't even say goodbye to the people he came for the first place to visit. He just kind of drove away. Whatever.
I know.
Whatever, Dolph Lundgren.
There was one cool part where he, like, blew out some guy's legs with a shotgun.
That is true. Yes, there were some interesting moments where he killed or hurt people. But yes, other than that, it was really boring. Really boring, Dolph Lundgren.
But we saved Death Race for last because we knew we'd have tons of action.
Death Racers.
Oh, sorry.
Not Death Race.
Racers.
Don't get this confused if you're going to look it up.
This is the knockoff version.
Yes. So we saved that. We are indeed eating beef jerky because this is Macho
This is
Nacho.
better than beef jerky. It's actually like prime rib beef tender cuts. So
Yeah,
it's even more...
This is the type of stuff you would feed to your dog. So
Yeah.
this is good stuff. We are eating this. We forgot to mention before that the idea for this also came from the end of what we would call No Shave November.
It's pretty, it just so happened to come together at the same time of
Yeah.
Mission. So we're very beardly,
Yep.
beefy.
Beefy. It's probably gonna get smelly. It's probably getting
Yeah.
smelly up in here. Nothing more manly than just smells. So yeah, we're gonna play the second movie, Death Racers. Hopefully, going to be much more entertaining than the first one because
More explosions and blood. This one has Insane Clown Posse in it.
yes. So this one will be much better than the last one. And here we go. Okay.
Wow.
Death Racers.
It's not about the speed, it's about the blood. At least that's what the movie says.
Indeed. This is the first movie I've ever seen, aside from maybe bits of like 13 Ghosts, that remixes itself. Like it'll play a scene, and then it'll jump back, and it'll be like, and oh my gosh.
But really, when it says it's not about speed, it's about blood, it's really about the Insane Clown Posse.
It was all about the
Because
Insane Clown Posse.
It was actually like a 90-minute Insane Clown Posse music video.
Yeah, it really was.
Every scene was the same 3 songs,
Yep, the same.
pretty much.
The same 15 seconds of the
Of
three
three
songs.
songs,
Yeah, for every scene.
But it did have some awesome head explosions.
That's true.
Machetes cutting off body parts,
That's
blood
true.
squirting.
Yep. Threats of bodily harm.
A scythe
Yeah,
going through.
killing with a scythe. Some good quotes in terms of threats against people.
Yep, I can look some up here.
There were some pretty good quotes. So, of the two, now again, we need to perfect our scale and our grading rubric, but let's recap, because of the two, Missionary Man, not so good. even though it scored higher. Yeah.
It's true, but you have to understand that these were based off movie covers alone
Right.
and what was on them.
Right.
Not
So-
about what they said on the back, no
Right.
words,
We
just
did not
pictures.
read what they were about. But anyways, Missionary Man, not so good. Death Racers, a little more entertaining to start off with.
More entertaining, but a completely terrible movie.
Horrible. Horrible movie.
Terrible acting, terrible video
Right.
editing, terrible special effects, which actually made for a way better movie because we laughed a lot more.
It's true.
More entertaining than this because this one we were just kind of sitting there.
Yep. So anyways, that was Macho Nacho Movie Night.
I think we should.
What have we learned? What have we learned? from
Well,
Macho
I think
Nacho?
we should do version 2.0, and what we should do is revise the grading scale because if we look at the column for smoking, we
Right.
just had one problem because there's no smoking on any of them.
Apparently, you can't allow
I
smoking
thought
on the covers.
cigars, they would be manly, even though we don't like smoking.
No, we really don't, which is weird. But anyways,
Tattoos,
not so much.
just a
That's-
couple, but
Yeah.
really some of the things that we did see on some covers were like ninjas,
Yep.
like swords and stuff. We didn't account for that. We didn't account for motorcycles or cars.
Melee weapons is what we need to account
Right.
for. Yeah.
So we need to account for melee weapons, cars, motorcycles, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get rid of macho because that's sort of, I don't know, man, war, death,
Right.
those things. We could do
yeah.
like a category for those kind of words.
Yeah. So
Something to revise.
maybe next time we won't have not macho nachos. We'll have
a steak.
death.
giant steak.
Maybe we'll just have like veal parmesan or something. Something that like kills innocent animals.
And
So-
we'll have strippers dancing behind us during the entire monologue.
Yep. We can edit that in probably.
I could do special
We can
effects.
edit in just for a couple seconds and make sure to remix it so that she hops back and forth, just like the Insane Clown Posse would do. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's been Macho Nacho Movie Night. It's
Until
been
next
really
time.
real. Keep growing those beards.
Bigger beards next time.
Yeah, I'm
bigger
gonna-
beards, bigger movies, bigger explosions,
Invest in flannel.
bigger
Bigger. What? Really?